I'm Mitch Panal. Today I bring you another video. Today we are going to be painting a a Lieutenant Titus from the Amazon Prime series Secret Level. Simple, easy, let's get into it. Here is my Captain Titus. I've modeled after the Prime series Secret Level. Taken a Lieutenant Titus model, added some knives, and stopped at the head for one with a Veil of Victory. But I did later on add a skull to the helmet because Captain Titus's, I keep calling him Titus, Lieutenant Titus's helmet has a sergeant skull on it. Let's get into the painting. I'm not showing kit bashing because it was a pretty simple model. Starting with Imperial Blue, I hit it with a base coat. This will be my shadow color, but I will use some other colors to sort of brighten it up a bit, as many people should. Pretty simple, got it all over, not too fancy, I'll say that much. Also, I still haven't figured out why my camera is being the way it is. Citadel Base, McCrag Blue. I use this as a secondary, highlight. Then I'll come in with a secondary highlight, and will be for my base coats. Will be forever rest of it will be, you know how it is. Fix up color. I did have to use more because I forgot about it. Hold up, wait, hang on. Yeah. Model color, medium blue. I use this as a sort of secondary highlight just to brighten up the top areas just a bit more. I do try my best to select areas, but we all know how overspray gets. Now, I will mention this. I stupidly forgot to do the helmet markings for a lieutenant while painting this, so I had to shove it at the end. So you will have repeating steps. Army Painter Dark Tone. I focus this down at the bottom, more heavily down there, and then lightly at the top. I'm trying my best to push it into the recesses because it wasn't flowing exactly the way I wanted it to. So yeah, definitely add extra water to your Army Painter wash. No, it's probably because it's an old bottle, but still. Citadel Base, Rhinox Hide. I'm using Rhinox to base coat all the gold bits, including the veil because, of course. Simple, easy. I also hit the leathers and the purity seals and the tabard, even though technically it isn't necessary, but it worked out good enough. Citadel Base, Dryad Bark. I use this to go over those places. I use the Rhinox Hide, mostly on the gold areas. Over the areas that will be gold, I focus that to the edges, and then the only the edges of the pouches. That is it. Apparently I lied. I used it on everything. I don't know why. Army Painter Matte Black. I use this on the lenses and in a few other little areas. I want the lenses black so I can do like a slight glow effect the best I can. And I also hit all these God damn it, what is the suit called? The undersuit. With all the black mesh and everything, like how it integrates the suit into the arm, like the armor into the Astartes. I can't remember the name of it. The black carapace, I think it was? Game color, glorious gold. Using a slight dry brushing motion, I attack anything I want gold. Which is supposed to be anything that is base coated brown. Except for the parchment papers and the loincloth. I say parchment papers, the purity seals. I'm tired, that's why I'm messing up. I also am supposed to do the shoulder pad, the trim on the shoulder pads. I didn't have a reference at hand. Citadel Base, Corn Red. I use this to cover up the little star. Now, before people start yelling at me that the shoulder pad with the star is not correct because it's very splodgy in some places, that's because this model is an older model that I stuffed up. It was one of the, in my earlier days of painting, and I didn't know how to thin paint properly. So you do get the splotchy part at the front, which I'm really annoyed with, but there was only so much I could do. Even stripping it wouldn't get rid of it. Model color white glaze. I hit anything that's red with white glaze at the top, and then hit the lenses, hit the little drops and little spots in the lenses, and all the raised areas, and then the exhausts of the power pack, as well as the Ultramar symbol on the shoulder pad. Yes, I do have the actual sculpted shoulder pad because I do not like using the transfer. It doesn't look as nice. Model color desert sand, desert armor. I stuffed that one. I'm new to these paints. Using this as the base coat for, well, a base for the loincloth and the parchment papers. The purity seals. What am I going on about? I believe that's all I did with this. If you can't tell, I painted this model like a week ago, and I just haven't had time to get this damn voiceover done. And my stuttering's bad. Citadel contrast. Blood Angels red. I hit the lenses. And any area that was originally red that I put white on. Just to give it a more punchy highlight. I do leave the exhausts of the power pack aligned because I'm going to use a different color on that. Model Air aged white. I use this for the parchment papers. I'm just hitting the edges. Trying my best to get like a really dingy, scratchy feel, but I could have done better. I probably should have focused more on the edges, but it didn't. Model color, medium blue. Using medium blue, I don't know, that's not medium blue, but using medium blue to clean up the messes I made earlier. Ironically, I painted it on the helmet, even though I didn't do that correctly, but I use medium blue to re-establish the highlights I have lost from using the dark tone, but I will use dark tone anymore because it was a little too bright. Model color oily steel, army painted dark tone. I use this for the silver metallics or anything that's not gold or which is exhaust, knives, the thingos on these little tubes on his helmet, the pistols or pistol. I don't know why I said there's no S to it, but yeah. A few of the dings and scratches in his armor. Game color, fluorescent blue. I touch these on the exhaust because it just adds a nice punchy color and keeps it with the theme. If you can't tell, yes, this is at later night. It's currently 9 PM, so yes. Army Painter Dark Tone. Now, for most people, that's not late. For me, it is. It's late. I hit everything with a dark tone. I'm trying my best to avoid any areas that are probably shouldn't do that. But I do my best, I get it everywhere I can, and then I try to re-establish it with other highlights, not other highlights, other adjustments. Army Painter Matte Black. Model color, white glaze. I use this to make a grey and start highlighting. It starts on the concrete ground. I think it was going to be industrial, but that's it. I didn't have any rebar, like little fake, not fake, miniature rebar, so I strapped on concrete, and that's about it. It's good enough. Add more white glaze to it and then dry brush. Now I did a bit too heavy on the beginning, so it's not exactly uniform, but I come in with the second round and it's good enough. That's kind of my whole thing for this miniature. It's already ruined from the beginning, so good enough is good enough. Model color white glaze. Adding this to the helmet, I actually do the stripe. I do try my best to match it to the in-game reference. It's the Space Marine 2 reference, which makes the lines at the ends of his lenses for some reason. I don't know why it's that far out, but it is. And so I went with that. Then Citadel base corn red. I used this to block out the red. Wasn't perfect with it, so I did have to come back and clean it up. But that's okay. I use the crest of the helmet as my guide, pretty much. With the little crest they have on the top of it, I tried to use that as my guide. It worked out okay-ish. Citadel base granite steel. I use this on the edge of the blades, just giving that more sharpened effect. Looks like they've been sharpened recently, which I feel for secret level, if they are going into an active, if they're being deployed, I'd say their weapons better be sharp. Sharp and well maintained. You can't tell me otherwise. Also, apologies for the bad camera angle, like the bad focus. Final results. Here is Lieutenant Titus from Prime's secret level. Is he perfect? No. Could I have made him perfect? I could have tried, but it just wasn't there because the model was already ruined from the beginning. Again, you can see the splotchiness, that cord thing. I don't know what the hell that was. I think it was paint. Like a caught on something. I think it was hair. I don't know. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. Check out the description. I got some links down there to my Discord, Instagram, whatnot, yada yada. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.